So, I just finished watching literally all of My Little Pony Equestria Girls. First off, I fucking loved it, because that show is amazing, just like the regular show is amazing. And I truly hope that it's not finished yet, I hope that they have some kind of finale planned and that it doesn't just kind of fizzle out. I mean, the regular show has one, this one hasn't, hopefully yet, so yeah, looking forward to that. But here is one thing that I started noticing. Well, there were a lot of things that I noticed, for instance, how Equestria Girls does actually a lot more with the reformed villain thing, which I absolutely adored. It was bloody hilarious. Especially the one episode where Starlight Glimmer also joined, because then they had a moment of, oh yeah, we've all done it. Because they had 3 people who were evil, who had been completely evil. I loved it, it was hilarious. Oh, I love this show. I'm constantly with this stupid grin while watching it. I mean, I have no idea if it's a stupid grin, but it feels like a stupid grin, but that might just be my self-deprecation. Anyway, no, here is one of the main things that I kept noticing. When there was a villain, the villain, and this goes equally for My Little Pony Equestria Girls as well as for regular My Little Pony, their villains were so hateable. I don't know any villain who could come close to how much I wanted to punch these villains in the face. Sauron? Voldemort? Eat your heart out. These are My Little Pony villains, you have nothing on these. And I think I'm kind of beginning to understand why that is. The problems in My Little Pony are never external. Never really. The problem in each of the movies, episodes, series, whatever, the real problem is never external. The real problem is always internal. It's always something one character has to deal with, or a group of characters has to deal with internally. The villains are that internal struggle given external form. On one side, this makes them quite ineffective as villains, because you don't destroy them, you don't defeat them by defeating them. You defeat them by solving the internal problem. One extremely clear example of that I remember was characters kept getting teleported away until the 2 characters who had their internal problem were the only ones that were left. And then those 2 characters solved their internal problem. So then, if Equestria Girls, if My Little Pony ran on regular logic, then the problem would be, alright, now that we have grouped up, we need to start working together to get our friends back. But that's not the logic that My Little Pony relies on. Instead it is, if you can conquer your internal problems, that is basically the same as conquering the external problems. And so, once they solved the internal problem of their friendship kind of getting in a tough spot and all that, they immediately found their friends who were just in a room somewhere. The external problem was solved immediately once the internal problem was solved, because the internal problem was the real problem. The external was merely kind of a reflection of the internal to kind of make it more obvious to help people understand. Now in that one they were also very clever, because they turned the external problem into not a problem, then they managed to turn it into a problem again because, oops, what happens when a lot of people get immediately teleported into the same small room? Well, they're going to get squished. So, there was an external problem, the real internal problem was solved, the external problem was immediately solved pretty much with that, and then they made the external problem a problem again, which they then had to kind of solve, though that was relatively quick, because, well, this is My Little Pony. The solving of the external problem is very quick. Once the internal problem once the real problem has been solved. But then, why am I saying that the villains are so much more hateable if they are so ineffective? Quite simple, really. The external villains are literally the voice of the internal problem. And if that internal problem is something like self-doubt, then the villain is your own self-doubt given voice. And since their writing is really good and they can very often hit these problems right on the head, this tends to feel extremely personal. This tends to reflect your own problems very well. At least that's my experience. I can't speak for anyone else, of course. One of those moments that hit me the hardest, well, there were really two moments that really hit me hard in this viewing. Both having to do with Sunset Shimmer, because honestly I think she's an amazing character. The first time was in the second movie. Basically, she had lost all her dominion over the school. She was suddenly a disliked nobody. And then these three evil girls come into the school who immediately get everyone to like them. They are basically, well, a second iteration of Sunset Shimmer. And basically the entire movie up till this point was a bit of a beatdown on Sunset. She was just not in a good place. Nobody really liked her. Very few people actually trusted her. And then it started what I thought was a very cool scene for Sunset. A moment where she gets to put all that intimidation into a good thing. Trying to intimidate these girls into maybe giving up some of her plan or just stopping, or just in some way a very cool scene. It was going to be this scene where this girl who had no control up to this moment in the movie, even though she really tried, she finally got some control back. And then it was immediately removed from her. As they became the voice for her internal struggle. The other moment doesn't have to do with such a voice. But my god, that was painful. Oh, that was fucking evil. Yeah, I'm going to have to quickly go over it because my god, that was horrifying. Yeah, if you don't want any more spoilers for, I think it's the third or it's the fourth movie, or it's one of the specials. I don't know exactly what it is. If you don't want any spoilers for My Little Pony, Equestria Girls, Forgotten Friendships, and honestly you don't want to, you want to watch this because honestly, oh, that was a story that got to me harder than anything I have ever seen, I think. Yeah, take that as a recommendation. This was more painful, got to me more than anything I've ever seen. Lord of the Rings, suck your heart out. You were nothing compared to this. So yeah, there will be a moment where you can skip to in the description and on screen right now, and maybe, I don't know yet. It will be very fucking obvious, or stop the video right now if you have any interest in seeing it. If you absolutely do not, or you already have, spoilers in 3, 2, 1. In Forgotten Friendship, the name is pretty much a spoiler. Basically, when Sunset Shimmer is finally in a good place, she has friends, people finally like her now. Finally, she's in a good place. And then all memories are stolen from everyone. All the good memories. The only things they remember are her being evil. This was the most painful thing to watch because you have seen her get to that point. You have seen her struggle. You have seen her earn it. And then it's all taken away. That was so painful. That hurt. And I don't often say that about media. Media doesn't often hurt. I don't even think that, at least I can't immediately recall, regular My Little Pony seriously hurting. Just, that was a moment where basically in my mind, or I might have even verbally gone, how dare you? What did she do to you? Yeah, that was about as evil as anything has ever gotten. So yeah, why are My Little Pony villains way worse than regular villains? Well, who do you hate more? A fictional character who supposedly hurt a lot of people in this fictional universe? Or seemingly your own self-doubt given voice? I don't know about you, but my own self-doubt is much more hateable than whatever some writer can come up with. Seemingly, My Little Pony manages to tap into the viewers for its hatred. And my god, was it effective. And I'm kind of sad that I watched all of it already. I want more of this, as usual. Then again, I guess I can continue with rewatching all of My Little Pony, just the regular one. I think I was somewhere in... might have been Season 1? Or might have been Season 2? I forgot. I think Season 1. Because honestly, I can't get enough of this. It's so much. It's literally so much fun. When watching it, I am smiling. And if you know me, you know that that is something that I don't often manage to do. So yeah, that's my recommendation. Go fucking watch My Little Pony Equestria Girls. Go fucking watch My Little Pony in general. This has been Vinix, saying farewell.